morning. How are you all? I hope you are very safe at home during this corona. So let us continue this today's video class. 7th Science. What I am teaching? Did you remember in the last class? What is the name of the lesson? Yes, nutrition in plants. In that, different scientists we have learned. And what else? Where are we? You finished. I finished my explanation in autotrophic nutrition. Now we step on to the heterotrophic nutrition, isn't it? So in that, Cuscuta species, how it depends on its host for its food, I explained in the last class. What are the special root-like structures in Cuscuta which absorbs the food materials from the host? Yes, Haustoria, isn't it? Haustoria are the root-like structures belongs to Cuscuta which absorbs the nutrients and minerals from the host. It entangles the entire plant like a thread-like structure without showing the host out. Okay, so this is called heterotrophic nutrition. The organisms which cannot prepare their own food materials and depend on other organisms for their own food materials are called as heterotrophs. Heterotrophs, isn't it? So now in that heterotrophs, I explained about heterotrophic nutrition by taking the Cuscuta as example, isn't it? Now I shifted to that heterotrophic nutrition to the different types. Those are insectivorous, carnivorous nutrition I explained in picture plants. Isn't it? Insectivorous plants like, what are those? Plants like Drosera, Utricularia. What are those? Drosera, Utricularia, Venus flytrap. These are the different insectivorous plants which perform heterotrophic nutrition. What do they eat? They trap the insects and eat. So this type of nutrition is called as heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition. So the insectivorous plants, those insectivorous plants are called as can also called as carnivores, isn't it? Carnivores. So insectivorous plants like Drosera, Utricularia or Venus flytrap, these are all called as insectivorous plants, can also called as carnivorous plants. They perform heterotrophic nutrition. Understand? So this type of another variety of nutrition, other modes of nutrition I am explaining today. So in that I finish this part. Let us move to the next part of the nutrition, that is what is its type, you know? Saprophytic nutrition. I hope you understood this. Venus flytrap, they develop a pitcher-like, pot-like plants in which they develop net-like structures. See, this is the pitcher. Pitcher means sack. So in this, which is animal, that's why it is called as heterotrophic nutrition. These organisms, plants cannot be called as carnivores because they are called herbivores. They can prepare their own food materials, but these plants are exception. Okay, because of the presence of pitcher, they trap the insects and absorbs their minerals and food in the form of salts, and they shows this different type of nutrition. Understand? So I finished all this. Let us move to the next part of the nutrition, that very interesting nutrition. And what are the organisms we can see in our daily life also? What is that? Saprophytic nutrition. What is that? What are called saprobes? Saprophytes. What is saprophytic nutrition? What are the examples? I am going to explain now. So let us move to the next part of other modes of nutrition. So in this lesson, how the plants prepare their own food materials, what is the process of photosynthesis, you have learned under the autotrophic nutrition. In the heterotrophic nutrition, different types of organisms, what is the nutrition they perform. With example, parasitic nutrition under heterotrophic you will learn as Cuscuta, insectivorous as carnivorous, and next saprophytic nutrition. What is that? Saprophytic nutrition. So what is nutrition? As we know, the process of obtaining the food materials is called as saprophytic nutrition. Nutrition is the process of absorbing the food materials is called nutrition. So the saprophytes, if they perform the nutrition, it is called saprophytic nutrition. Isn't it? So now what are called saprophytes? Do you know what are called saprophytes? Saprophytic saprophytes means organisms. Some organisms, before the definition, I show you some examples which we see regularly in our daily life. In the rainy season, have you observed if it is the tree, if it is the bark of the tree, on that some knob-like structures, did you observe white button-like structures come from this bark of the tree? What do you call them? Do you know? If I draw with the colored chalk. So what are these structures? Button-like structures. What do you call? I think you remember them as mushrooms. Do you know? Mushrooms are these saprophytes. Button-like white color structures, mushrooms. These are the organisms which depend on dead and decaying. They depend on the stem, which is stem, and they absorb the food materials from the bark of the tree. Understand? These are the mushrooms. And one more thing, in your house, if your mother forget about any other, what is that, pickle bowl, pickle jar or bowl, in this, if your mother forget to keep that pickle jar or container inside the fridge for the few days, what you can see after few days, whitish black structures, thread-like structures forms around this pickle, and immediately as soon as you take out that lid, we'll get foul smell. It is not palatable. It will not be having any taste. Is it not? On the top of that, you can find whitish black thread-like structures which forms the fungus. Is it not? And if you forget to take the bread when you bring from the shop, within bread no need to keep in the refrigerator. If you leave it outside without forgetting, without eating that, on the bread loaf, the slice is called as loaf, of course. On that you can see some structures, blackish structures that will be grown. If you observe under the microscope, the knob-like structures and thread you can have, but when you see the blackish dot-like structure spreads entire loaf of the bread, slice of the bread, isn't it? These are nothing but saprophytes. So now what are the saprophytes? See the organisms. Write down the definition now. The organisms which depend on dead and decayed organisms are called saprophytes. So now they absorb the juices, the minerals which they need. The organisms, the fungi or mushrooms or any other bread mold or anything, they absorb the dead and decaying substances from other substances. Understand? These are called as saprophytes. So the nutrition performed by saprophytes is called as saprophytic nutrition. Understand? So next, this is the saprophytic nutrition. Example, bacteria, fungus. Fungus is group of the plants it is considered, but it is not come under plants. It is another group in the kingdom, plant kingdom. But until then in your class, it is mentioned under the plant family, but it is not actually plant. Okay, bacteria, fungus, mushrooms. Do you know about mushrooms? All mushrooms are eatable. Whatever you find on the trees during the rainy season, those are not eatable. Those are not eligible to eat. Those are not preferred for eating because some mushrooms they may cause poison. But the mushrooms which we get in the supermarkets and Reliance Smart shopping mall like that, they will be packed in hygienic conditions. Those mushrooms are good to eat. The eating of mushrooms gives us much amount of protein substances. So instead of meat, mutton, those who cannot prefer, who will not prefer this chicken, meat, mutton and all, they can go for mushrooms. The mushrooms are rich in proteins. Okay. But Agaricus samanitas is one species of mushroom which is poisonous. The color is not white. You can observe the yellow color or some greenish structure of mushroom. So which is not preferred to eat. Remember that. You can inform to your parents also when you buy. You should not take such type of mushrooms which is not white in color, some changing color like yellow or green. Understand? Now, example, bread mold. Bread mold is the fungus. Molds nothing but fungus organisms. So, bread mold means what is shown on the slice. The fungus will be grown. So, that is called bread mold. So, Rhizopus, its scientific name. Rhizopus. Okay. So, Rhizopus is the scientific name of bread mold. So now what I explained now, this is the saprophytic nutrition. Saprophytes are the organisms which sucks the materials of the dead organisms. Okay. So this is another mode of nutrition what you have learned today, I hope. So under the heterotrophic nutrition, you finish parasitic nutrition, that is cuscuta. Isn't it? Though that about Hastoria absorb the materials, and insectivorous plants, they absorb the sucks, they trap the insects which they got into the picture. So next, saprophytic nutrition. I hope you understood. So the organisms which depend on dead and decayed organisms are called as saprophytes. The nutrition which they perform, the saprophytes perform, is called as saprophytic nutrition. Understand? Now let us move to the next part of the nutrition. Next part of the nutrition, that is some plants. Again come to the plants. Some plants like dal family. Do you know? I am using this. So what do you call dal? Dal family means the scientific name, that is leguminous plants. The family name is Leguminosae. What is that? So some other nutrition. Symbiosis nutrition, I will say. The nutrition is nothing but absorption, taking of the food materials from one, isn't it? From the other organism. So autotrophs, in the plants we have learned how they prepare their own food materials. In the heterotrophs you are learning different organisms, what they perform. Okay? Now symbiotic nutrition we will see. Symbiosis is nothing but a phenomena in which both the organisms share their food materials. For example, one organism provides shelter, another organism provides its food. So symbiotic relationship in nutrition only, either plants or animals, they perform the symbiosis phenomena in which to obtain the nutrition. Okay? So now what is symbiosis? Is it clear? Let me write again. Symbiosis, the phenomena, the relationship in which the organisms, the relationship in which both the organisms share food and other substances is called as symbiosis. The proper definition is not mentioned in your science, the 7th science subject. Of course, this is the definition in brief what I want to give you. Okay? So the relationship in which both the organisms share the food and other things is called as symbiosis. It's a relationship. So if I give food, it will give shelter. If it gives shelter, I will give food. Like that, plant and other organisms can share their nutrition and shelter. What do we require for living human beings or living things or anybody? First we require food and shelter mostly, isn't it? So in the example of this symbiosis, let me give you example. In the dal family, in our textbook it is mentioned dal family. This dal family leguminosarum. I think Rhizobium leguminosarum is the bacteria. It is a plant. It is the bacteria. It shows the relationship. So here, what is the speciality? Why you are learning in the symbiotic relationship? Let me explain you. First, did you understand the symbiosis definition? Did you understand the symbiosis definition? Yes. After that, these organisms are called symbionts. Symbionts, of course. So, plant in the pea family, Legumineaceae pea plant, botany, the bacteria in the roots of this pea plant. There lives a bacteria. This rhizobium, the bacteria name called as rhizobium, fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the plant, which helps the plant in its growth. Did you understand? So let me explain by drawing. I hope you understood the symbiosis phenomena, symbiotic relationship, symbionts, organisms, pea plant, Rhizobium leguminosarum. This relationship you will find in 8th class, 9th class and 10th class also. Okay, this is very important. So let me take. So the plant is not important here, of course, whatever may be. The rough plant is not important. See, this is the pea plant. If you observe the roots, the roots will have some nodule-like structure in the pea plant family, Botany ginja. So if you cut and open this nodule, some bacteria, microorganism, it is not visible to our naked eye, can be seen under microscope only. Okay? Now, so if you cut and open this, if you observe the roots of the family, it will give the shelter. The roots are giving shelter to this Rhizobium bacteria. What is the bacteria name? Rhizobium leguminosarum. Understand? So the plant, it is giving its food. Water we will give, minerals we will give through the roots only for the plant to grow, isn't it? That roots, that food which is given for the plant, it will be absorbed by this rhizobium. It takes some amount of food what it requires. In the same way, what is the use for the plant to keep this bacterium in its roots, you know? Yes, there is use. There is symbiosis relationship here. This rhizobium bacteria fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Fix this atmospheric nitrogen into the roots, which helps for the growth of the family, plant. Understand? So if this relationship. One is giving the nitrogen, and this plant is providing shelter here. In this nodule-like structures, the rhizobium is having its shelter. So the relationship, one is providing shelter, another is providing this food materials. Understand? So nitrogen is providing as a substance phenomena. Understand? Whenever you hear this word lichens, you can understand that this lichen is nothing but group of algae and fungi. Understand? So these lichens also show this relationship of symbiosis. They grow together, surviving, providing whatever they require, both of them, helping each other. In see these organisms, they will not stay like that without helping the other organisms. They will not sit like that and take the food from the other organisms continuously without any helping to that organism. Definitely, if I help, that she will help to me. Both the friends, how do we help like that? These organisms, either plant or bacteria or whatever it may be, one organism, one plant, other or another organism, like that. It's a type of nutrition in which both the organisms are benefited. Understand? So both the organisms are benefited here. That process is called as symbiosis. So lichens, I told, with this I concluded this nutrition topic. If anything is there in the next video, I want to continue the next topic and the next lesson, difficult words I want to give. Okay? So now I hope you understood. So what is symbiosis? And now just one thing I want to explain. After learning all this, so we are learning about plants and their mode of nutrition, isn't it? So one small topic in the do you know column is there that I'll say like orally, and I'll finish this. I'll conclude this video. Okay. So now, with this, by this video I finished teaching the nutrition in plants lesson, students. So I hope you all understood. Well, if you want, you can read and understand thoroughly by watching video few times. Now what I forget means you can prepare the herbarium. Herbarium means few plants. Collect the plant with a twig, flower and bud or roots, some small plants or leaves or stem or anything. You can collect and press it and tape it, and you can make herbarium sheets. What is that? Herbarium means preserving the plant species in the preserving plant species. Here it is one topic is mentioned in our textbook. That's why I'm explaining. So herbarium means preserving plant species. Observe one plant and bring it and press it on the paper and put some small cellophane tapes to that and cover it and keep it remain like that. Water will be absorbed, and you can find different parts of the plant later for the next to see the parts of the different plants. That process is called as what are the sheets, what is the topic is called as herbarium. Okay, with this I concluded the nutrition in plants lesson. Thank you. I'll come with a new video of the next